Welcome back to another episode of the Todd Durkin Impact Show, and I hope you are having a fantastic start to your day. Well, maybe you're listening to this late at night, but if you are listening to it early in the morning, I always end my show with something I say. I say, train hard, eat right, and live inspired. Today, I'm starting with that. You know why? Because it's a Q&A session, and I got some great questions from all my fire-breathing dragons, all you mind-right maniacs around the planet firing away some questions. So I say thank you. Keep them coming. But when I say train hard, let me ask you a question. How's your training going? Do you need to up it a little bit? You need to amp up your training right now as you're huffing around the neighborhood, as you're in the home gym, getting after it. Are you training hard? Are you eating right? How can you amp up your own nutrition? The things that you can eliminate or cut down on right now. Maybe it's the sugar, S-U-G-A, sugar. The sugar is the very good, the devil. So how do you get your eating right and your hydration up? And of course, living inspired. This is the little extra juice, a little mojo, a little jungle juice. Y'all like, hey, TD, what are you drinking in the jungle juice? Live inspired, baby. The jungle juice of life. Talking about vision and purpose and passion, all these things that we do. I'm going to just make sure I challenge you before I get to this Q&A as you think about your own training, your own nutrition, and your own inspiration in spirit. To get in spirit. In spirit. What are we doing to do those things? So while you're getting after it today, as I'm going through these Q&A, I want to make sure that you're amping it up and getting the juju going. The juju, the little mojo jungle juice. Get it right, get it tight, and get your mind right. Here we go with the questions, and keep them coming because I always read your questions, baby. Greater Life Fitness on the IG asked me this very serious question. TD, is it okay that I name my new rescue pup Durkin? Are you kidding me? I don't know if I've ever gotten a better question in my entire history. Absolutely, is it okay? New rescue pup Durkin? There's only one thing I say, Greater Life Fitness. Can you snap a photo of Durkin and give me a little photo and tag me on that? I want to see the new rescue pup named Durkin. Absolutely love it. As long as that pup is wagging his tail or her tail, you make sure that Durkin is doing his or her job, baby. CatCon99. What sled brand do you use in the parking lot of Fitness Quest 10, and does it mess up the pavement? We talking all things today. Hit the Prowler Sled CatCon 99. We've got two different ones. One by Perform Better, the first place Drive Sled 2 is what it's called, performbetter.com. Also, we have one by EliteFTS.com, Elite FTS, the Prowler. Just make sure that if you're going to use the Prowler, that you read the Prowler Flu, the warning that's on the Prowler. Very, very important. You don't want the Prowler Flu. It's the most dangerous flu out there. Gifted Mathis asked this question. What would your advice to someone who is inconsistent in the gym be? Gifted Mathis, that's a great question. Number one, go earlier. Yup, go earlier to the gym, like before the sun comes up, Gifted Mathis. The earlier you go to the gym, the more likely you are to get it in because no distractions pop up. Number two, with that, hire a trainer or commit to a program that has a coach leading it or a group of people that will hold you accountable. Because if you're inconsistent, there's probably an accountability issue. So hire a coach, hire a trainer. It could be a nutritionist, it could be a trainer. Hire someone who's going to hold you accountable. And number three, find something that's going to scare you. Like signing up to go do a Spartan run or a DecaFit challenge or commit to go climbing a mountain in Colorado. Oh, that'll scare you. When you find something that scares you, you're apt to be a little more consistent in the gym. And then lastly, let me just make sure I emphasize once again the importance of the environment in which you train. You want an environment that's going to lift you up. It's going to allow you to feel good. That's going to get you out of bed and saying, I'm going to get my shoes on. I'm going to get to the gym and I'm going to get better. Great question, Gifted Mathis. Next up, First Strong Mommy asked this question. We get a little personal now. What's the hardest thing you've ever gone through in your marriage? That's a good question. I should probably ask Melanie on that. But I'm going to answer for her because this would definitely be both of ours. I'd say that I don't think I've ever even revealed this before, but since First Strong Mommy asks, we actually had 2 miscarriages early on in our marriage, right before Luke and right after Luke. Luke is now 18 years old. Can't believe that kid is going off to college. Man, oh man, doesn't seem possible. But before Luke was born, Melanie had a miscarriage, and then before Brady was born, Melanie had another miscarriage. And let me tell you, if you've ever been through that, that is a very, very challenging time. Not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. There's so many questions, and it's not just the mom, it's the dad too. Like it's a very, very challenging time. And the later one miscarries, the more challenging and difficult it is. But interesting enough, side note here. Now, Melanie's probably going to listen to this and say, why did you tell him that? Melanie, I tell him everything here on the Impact Show. When we actually got married, we took our honeymoon over to Sedona, Arizona. Great place. Highly recommend it. I've often teased you all. I'm going to have a retreat in Sedona someday. But on our honeymoon, 20 years ago, yes, we have been married 20 years, Melanie decided she was going to go to a medical medium. I'm like, what's a medical medium? Well, this woman actually told Melanie she saw 5 spirits with her or in her. Well, now looking back, 20 years later, we have 3 kids, and those 2 young children that were miscarried are part of the Durkin family. So we have 5 spirits. That medical medium was right. So there you have it, First Strong Mommy. I would say getting through not 1 but 2 miscarriages is something that not only Melanie but we as a couple had to endure. And one of the ways that we certainly did that was relying on faith and praying about it and just going through that very difficult time was something that was definitely a challenge. All right, on another note, we're now going to jump all over because your questions are awesome. I'm going to combine these 2 because we have so many great questions coming in on the Instagram DMs. This one goes out to David Poherence 94, David Poho 94, and Jess Jacobson, the one and only Jess Jacobson. I'm going to combine these because Jess asked the biggest mistake ever made in business, and David Poho 94, very similar, because of the same answer for me. If you could change one thing about your path to the current day, what would you do differently? Ooh, what would you do differently? You know what I'd say? I should have bought a building 10 years ago. I should have bought a building 10 years ago and had Fitness Quest 10 in that like 15,000 square foot building 10 years ago, but I didn't. So I'd say that's a mistake. Real estate, man. Real estate. I would have said bought a building 10 years ago. You know what, honestly? One of the other mistakes is I've hired a lot of people in my lifetime, and I've even fired a few people. But one of the biggest mistakes I ever made was someone I hired in the marketing department who, man, he had the wool pulled over my eyes. I thought I had the greatest thing since sliced bread. He lasted 1 day. 1 day. I knew on day number 1 that this person was not what I had interviewed, and I told my team, oh my goodness, this isn't going to work out. I better save him, me, and everyone else a lot of headaches because it wasn't going to be. So I've made my share of mistakes, but that was one that I didn't see coming. And then another one, I'm just going to reveal all the dirt because y'all want to hear the dirt. And I don't know if I'd say this was a mistake. I actually think this business failed, but it actually was just before its time. 2015, I created a business I had a business partner, and we had a business called FitBlock. Anyone remember FitBlock? FitBlock, we started this streaming workout company. Yeah, we actually, 2015, we had workouts that were streaming through a platform. 2015, we were way before its time. Now, if that would have hit like in 2019 or 2020, right before the pandemic, man, oh man, FitBlock would have went like gangbusters. But we sunk a lot of money into FitBlock, and it didn't take off because it was 5 years before its time. Would I say it was a biggest mistake ever made? No, but we learned a lot of lessons in that FitBlock experience. So there you have it, David Poho, 94, and Jess Jacobson. Just a couple different things I would do differently, perhaps, or maybe the timing would be differently. And the last question, my good friend Maria Meweiss. Maria, thank you. What quotes are driving you these days? I've got a few different ones, so check this out. Favorite quotes. Number 1, 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did. That's a Mark Twain quote. And the only thing I'd say to old Mark Twain is you could change 20 years from now to like 5 years from now. I'll just call it TD quote. 5 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did. Therefore, do the things you want to do now. Helen Keller, she says this, the only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. Ooh, mark that tape right there, Helen Keller. The only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. So what are you doing? What's the vision that you have for your life? What is it that you're being called to do? When you think about vision, what is your vision for your life? What is your vision that you want to be doing and you want to fulfill? Because ultimately, you've got to take action for what it is in your life that you're going to do. Next up, how about this one? The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to gift it away. Ooh, the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. Maria Meweiss, I'm glad you're asking these questions because these are some of my favorite quotes I wrote down that I'm sharing with you today, along with my good friend Plato. Plato is a good friend of mine. We can easily forgive a child who's afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men and women are afraid of the light. Where's the light? Where's the light? Be the light. I have 2 more, and I'm going to end today's episode. The 4th one, don't be someone's downtime, spare time, part-time, or sometime. If they can't be there for you all the time, they're not even worth your time. Ooh, man, oh man, we spittin' some fire today. And the last one is all about fear. Courage doesn't mean you don't get afraid. Courage means you don't let fear stop you, because I overcome fear by following my dreams. My friends, what are your dreams? What are your aspirations? What are your visions? Because that's what it's all about. In today's Q&A episode, ending with my favorite quotes that I'm resonating with right now, I hope that whatever you're being led by, that you see the light. You're being led by the light, led by your vision, and led by courage. The courage and the strength and the fortitude to continue to move ahead. Until next time, my friends, I want to say thank you for what you do. Continue to train hard. Continue to eat right. And always, always live inspired. Have an awesome day. Keep those questions coming. Until next time, remember, go create impact.